Hello everyone, Michael the Mechanical here, and no, I haven't really done much. I'm just doing quantities. I'm doing a lot of things. And I thought, you know what? In the last live stream, I just stopped it and then I just started this one. I sort of came up with a bit of a plan. I've already talked a bit about it in the last stream a lot, so to reiterate on what was said in the last stream, essentially, what is it going to take for us to essentially start working on the ZL Fairlane? And what it was essentially, how much is it going to cost to do all this work that the ZL Fairlane needs, like all these repairs? And so what I'm doing is I'm sort of, I know what people would like to see, and people would like to really see the ZL Fairlane get done, and that's what everyone's gonna come around for now and look at this video, because that's what I've been told. People have said they want to see something get done in the ZL Fairlane. Well, we're doing something right now. You're not seeing nothing get done to the ZL Fairlane, but you're seeing a plan get put in place for the ZL Fairlane. And by setting that up, I guess you could say the good thing about saying this is to give you an idea of how long away, how far away am I from starting the ZL Fairlane. And there is prerequisites that need to be met before it can actually happen. So I'm making sure that I don't blow the budget out of proportion, because I do not believe there is a chance that I'll be doing anything to ZL Fairlane for the next 2 years, I reckon. I don't think nothing's going to happen for about 2 years, because I'm at the point where I need to get a job. If I get a job, within 2 years, I should have a good budget to start working on that ZL Fairlane, because once it's done, I want to get at least 1 solid year of run life out of it, driving around Adelaide, Australia, everywhere, just for 1 year. Even though it's 1 year, it's 1 year of that thing that you always wanted. It's a bit of nostalgia from when you were a kid. It's a bit of, if I wanted to drive any period of time without any prolonged risks, how many years would it be? 1 year. So I have a time frame to meet my goal before fuel becomes redundant and you can't use it anymore. That car has to be done by 2028, 2088 or 2089 it has to be done, because by 2030, phasing out old cars completely. It won't be a thing where you're allowed to drive these things anymore. They'll be taking them off the road. That could even happen any day now as well, but they'll put in rules probably even earlier than that to stop old unregistered cars getting back on the road. That's going to be the thing. They're going to slowly stop you from registering old cars because they don't want them on the road. You want to register a vehicle like that? You can, but it has to be a club rego, and it only has to be for a very short period of time, limited amount of times per year, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trips a year for events, for a road trip, get stretch your horse's legs or something. Essentially something like that. So in the prior video that I made, I was talking about what is it going to take before I start working on the Fairlane, and what it essentially came down to is, for me to work on that ZL Fairlane, I'm going to have a budget of $40,000 in order to start it and maybe even finish it for $40,000. Now, I also said in that video that if push came to shove, I'm going to make sure I have $24,000 so before I work on the Triton. And if I have $24,000, that car will get done up first, because it's literally the work vehicle that we need for work, and very useful tool. But if I have $24,000 or even less than that, and Dad threatens to essentially get rid of this now, I will literally say I have it booked for next week to go down, and the truck's coming around in the next few days to take it to the workshop to get work done to get the body started. And if Dad's hears that, essentially things are going to change a little bit about the ZL going to the tip. So rust item, rusts. What kind of rust are we talking about? Rear. Rust. I'm going to call it rust standard. Rust standard. Firewall, and then there's rust major. So there is 7. I know there is 7 items in the rust major. There is 3 rust structurals. Firewall is definitely a big one to do, and then the standard rust things are about, maybe I said $1,500 per thing to fix, but I reckon it'll be less than that. I reckon $1,000. I reckon $1,000 to do standard things, so $1,000 per item for the standard stuff. For the firewall, it's probably like $2,500. For the structural stuff, it is probably, they said $1,500 to $2,500. I'm gonna go with $1,500 because I got quoted $1,500, and this is equal to the stuff. There's 3 plus 2. There is several sections of standard rust. It's literally 3 items like that, and I just say I'm literally just gonna change this color to like a lighter gray, and it's equal to the sum of F. You got to change all these items. I'm literally doing this calculation on the fly. It is literally F2 times E. So it's F3 times E3 plus it's essentially the same numbers. Plus another, that's going to be 4, 5, bang. There is 10 grand already in body work based on the first numbers, and I need to make sure you guys see this. There's your first number towards what it's going to take to do some work on the ZL Fairlane. I already got ideas on what the quote's going to be, what everything's going to cost from earlier days of research and requesting and making asking questions about it. So I already know to do the rust repairs it's going to cost about that much. So literally I'm going to try and cheat this a little bit. Equals G4, no, F4, no, it's F6. Oops. Because then what I'll do is I'll add the G column up, getting a tally of what the price actually is. Equals sum of G for D3 to G. Then I can get a price tally, so then I can then use those numbers to figure out some other things. So there we go, we're already at $10,000. I already said if I had $10,000, Dad's taking it to the he's sending it off to the wreckers, I will literally tell him it's going to a repair shop to get this all repaired, because then that will give me the opportunity to do everything else that needs to be done. I said $40,000 to restore this car, because there's a lot of other things that I forget about as well, expense-wise. I'm going to make sure these are all coloured in such a way that I can see gaps in things. There was, in the previous talk, the paint job, which was about, it could be $5,000 to $15,000. I remember $5,000 was what I got told, so it equals F5, 7. Okay, there we go. We got the F number there. I'm going to change this to maybe a burgundy like color. Which one's most burgundy? Probably that one. That's the closest color I've got. And then to change the text color to something visible. Yellow. Ooh, shoot. No, not that one. Not that one. I need to make it visible enough that it's not stupid. Okay. So, I got my paint. We're at $15,000 on the budget. Then the suspension. I remember I said $800 to do the rear. It's about $800 to do the rear suspension. And about the same. It's about $1,000 for each. So, suspension, 2 items at $1,000 each. Yeah, I guess you could call this driveline section. I'll call it driveline because it's a safe figure to go with. There's the suspension. Then after the suspension, there is the diff, which was actually pretty expensive. The differential was 1 item and it was about $2,500. The transmission one was about $3,000. The engine was about I don't even have a quote for the engine, but from Dad's experience it's probably going to be about $4,000. His is a V6, much more expensive to fix than the V straight 6, but the engine to rebuild was about $3,600 for him. This one here I'm going to say $4,000 to be safe, because you never know, it could cost more, it could cost less. There's no safe budget yet. So let's see how much further we can go. We got the engine transfer. So the driveline is essentially getting rebuilt. So suspension, differential, transmission, and engine. Drive shafts. Now, can I be funny and say let's make a new drive shaft? There is a potential to do that. There is no reason to. I would literally keep the same drive shaft in it, but nah, let's just stick with what it is. It's a $200-ish service thing that you have to do for a drive shaft, because there's, depending on the price of the parts, $60 per uni joint assembly, so it's $120, but I'm saying $200 just to be safe, because there's leniency, because in some cases those parts are a little bit more expensive than others. So yeah, let's do that. There is nothing left driveline wise there to be done. There's probably electrical work, so I'll call it drive line, and it's equal to what these figures were. This equals the sum. Now equals the sum of E7, I think. No, 8. So E10, no, 12. Yes. So there's 6 items there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 items. I did not do this right, did I? This makes it a little bit more difficult. But that's okay. We love difficult. Difficult's our middle name. There is 2 of these. I should go there. There's 2 left that we don't have. It is literally the 9. There's the 8. Not the 18, 8s. The 9s. And then we're going to the 10s. So there we go. We have now the budget for 11. There is $26,700 in this budget thus far. I don't know if I should get anyone excited. That's pretty crazy. I'm actually going to turn up the heat a little bit on these because they're a little bit dull. Time to show you the budget, guys. I need to make sure you guys are in the loop. So to restore this car currently without everything done to it, paint jobs $5,000, the rust repair is all going to be $10,000. The driveline to be rebuilt is about $12,000. That's the same price as my car is to get going again legally on the road. But my parts are a little bit cheaper and expensive at the same time. The total cost currently is at $26,700. Good thing I've got you guys in the loop, and you can see how long this actually takes to plan a really good budget, a solid budget, thinking about all the stuff. Now, for the next phase, I remember the dash. What is it actually called? The dash. I'm just going to call it the dash, because I can't really go any further than that. I don't know. The dash was one item that was going to cost about $800. So the interior, my neighbor said it's about $3,000 in all to do that stuff. They can get all the materials, they can get it all done. Oh, I might be able to find that number. I literally have a lot of numbers based on what they quoted me for stuff. Got a really itchy nose. The reason I wanted to say set my budget to $40,000 to rebuild this car, make it like restored, brand new, is because wait, where's the Fairlane file? There we go. Restoration quote. Okay, so they literally didn't give me a quote in this one. That sort of sucks. Quote to the dash. The dash was $880. Okay, so 900 was a better number to go with. That was expensive. The turnaround time would be a few weeks, so it wouldn't be literally, oh, in one day it's done. It's literally a couple of weeks. But the reason I said $40,000 starting budget and doing it all at once is because if you get something restored and then you leave it to the side, what happens is it gets the money you spent on it, it deteriorates on the side. It's literally better to just get it done, put it together, and use what you've got, because otherwise, if it sits there for long enough, you'll be redoing it again. Money lost and wasted. It's not economical, essentially. A price list, but that's not for panels, and that should be also unread. Mark as unread. Yes. Is there any more stuff? Wilshire.com.au. Okay, restoring an interior for a full roof restoration for an average size, not a house. Automotive restoring interior. Okay, so reupholstering options for your car. Reupholstering kits for about $800, plus an additional $750 for a professional to install. Yeah, that gives an idea, because it's all very expensive to do. Let's see, types of upholstering. Bolster. What is replacement headliner on 14 typically costs about $180. New headliner for an SUV. Minivan costs $750. Headliner replacement for cars with okay. A custom upholstery for an entire car costs about $2,500. It says a thin carpet can cover the whole old carpet for about $350. Given you're not replacing the old carpet, costs about $750. So, carpet. I know the carpet needs to be replaced, one, and it was $750. That's 1/3 of the cost of rebuilding the motor, just about. Old carpet with the original manufacturer carpet can cost more than $1,000. Okay, well, I'm gonna say $1,000 just because he said what he said, and it's kind of scary. But from what I can see here, he's talking about the entire car cost of $2,500. That's a little tiny bit sketchy, because my neighbor had his custom done, and it was cheap materials, but professionally and really well done, for $3,500. and that was black on Nissan Silvia seats. So he sold all that stuff. He got $1,000 back from what he spent there. Seat reupholstery. How much does it cost to get a car reupholstered? Okay, $750 seat. Okay. The seats are about $750, what they say, or about $500, $2,000 for 2 bucket seats. Ooh, the bucket seats. I'm gonna say seats bucket is $1,000. I'm gonna go with, you literally can't under budget yourself. You literally need to know what these things are actually gonna cost before you say, hey, this is my budget, I'm gonna spend this much, I'm gonna get it done. You know, I've actually forgotten a major part in this whole budget. It's the dipping phases for acid dipping to get rid of any rust inside of it. There is another phase which was foaming the things that you can't access and they rust out anyway, but also for prevention of it rusting. There's all these little things that we forget about, and it's really important to know. So that's seat. That's a bucket seat. So is there a bench seat in here? It's a cost helper. Okay, so that one's not very helpful. This one here is, oh my god, here we go. To create a showroom interior starts at around $1,000 to $4,000 base materials, hard but with leather. Who cares about leather? Or high-end cloth, it can cost $5,000 to $10,000 or more, depending on year, make, model, and what's included. A truck bench, or $150 only for the bench. I need to look for the most expensive things. Covers, seat covers. Screw the seat covers, we don't want to worry about it. Or more for a simple repair, depending on location and extent of damage. I remember foaming the seats was about $400. I remember something like that. Like, they remove it, they destroy it, and then they replace the foam with the same foam that was from the manufacturer, so it's OEM spec. That's DIY. Come on. The bench seat typically costs about $200 to $750 per seat, or about $500 to $2,000 for bench seats. Come on. And a back bench seat for 2 bucket seats and a back bench seat. Okay, so $500 to $2,000 for 2 and a back seat. Okay, let's just call it. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm gonna say bench seat because the budget is. It sounds about right. I mean, it's easier to do a bench seat than it is something else. Then, after dash, carpet, bucket seats, bench seat. Carpet is $1,000. I feel like saying there's 2 carpets because it technically is. There is the hood liner, which they say in most places I've read is about $300, $400. It depends on the material. I'll just say $400. One, and it's $400. This is going to be a ridiculous, oh my god, price. I wonder if they can tell me about redoing the pillars. The plastic ones that are busted, essentially. Anything broken in the cab, air vents to the plastic pillars. If I think about it, each plastic pillar would probably be about $200 each. And in total, how many of them are actually badly damaged? There was the one, there's 2, I guess there's 2 plastic pillars and they're about $200 each, I'll call it. Then there is, I had something, I've forgotten what it was, the door cover. I think they're cool door covers. There is a total of 4. I've stuffed one up. I should buy a new one to replace the one I stuffed up. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I need to do it. Automotive. Restoring the door in the interior. How much it costs to restore the interior of a car? Blah, 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 blah. Come on, give me some... Okay, here we go. Classic. Because the Fairlane is a classic, it deserves the classification of classic. Roof linings from blah, blah, blah. I don't like their from prices. I like better price than that. And a classic interior. Oh, that's a nice old-fashioned, classy interior for a Mercedes-Benz. They don't give enough information. Cost of the door interior. Super cheap auto. Vinyl fabric. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, here we go. Here's the Wilshire. Upholstery block. Okay. That's the dashboard. Okay, the dashboard. Bolster. What is a bolster? That's a question because I haven't actually checked into what a bolster actually is. And do we have a bolster? Bolster automotive. Bolster automotive part. What is a bolster? It looks like I've never ever heard of a bolster before. New bolsters. I have no idea what a bolster is, and it doesn't make sense. I'm still looking for prices. This is ridiculous. Maria. I'm gonna just look up. I'm gonna see if I can find something and relate it to. That just say sofa? Yeah, it says sofa. ZL Fairlane. 2 room ZL Fairlane. Rear windows with molds. What is this rear windows with molds thing? Let's see if we can find anything. There's some oldish Fairlane stuff. They weren't the most popular cars. That's what everyone tries to tell me. And everyone's tried to talk me out of a ZL Fairlane. ZL Fairlane. Ford front seat rail. Ooh. Open a new tab. I know I'm going to need new front seat rails because mine are bent. And the bolts are bent to buggery. So the seat rail, it's like $200. Okay. I need 2 and they are $200. But that's not a Fairlane part. That's the wrong part, isn't it? They got me excited. Oh, fit set it. Okay, it says it fits it. That's good enough for me. It looks like it. Sleeves, sun visor sleeves. I have no idea what the sleeves are for a sun visor. The door seals. Okay, that's a good one to write down. The door seal. We need. It's called a pair. So you need 2 pairs. Which costs about $150 each. And then the door covers, we still don't know about the door covers. Attaching bolt cover, no, not going to worry about that. Touchscreen GPS for a Zeno. Oh my god. That is crazy. There's all this new stuff that's crazy. Universal lever. I'm making my factory. I'm restoring that ZL Fairlane. Oh. That's one of those kind of parts I definitely want to get. What's it called? 200X car body door panel. Awesome. I've looked for them and they're so useful, but I never actually found them in small packets. That is ridiculous. There's clips in there that I can tell that I want, or should I say I need, because I've lost them and they've also, gone rusty. They're more than just what they say. It's ridiculous. Never thought I'd find something like that on here that I'd be like, oh, maybe I should, take this down and say it is this. And then the seat rail. Because we're talking about restoring, we might as well set ourselves up in the future to come back here and buy this stuff when we want to. An endoscope. I've got one of those. Come on, let's find some more stuff. The ZL Fairlane. And that's a special for Ford Apple CarPlay interface for a ZL Fairlane. That is crazy. Wireless remote radio thing. Come on, can we find anything? Audio clips. I'm not even going to look at them. I know it needs new speakers. Okay, so it's a Ford Fairlane rear-wheel drive. Yes. Here's the petrol 4000cc. Come on. Let's see if we can find the highest prices first, because that's going to be the ridiculous ones to knock out of the park. And oh, open a new tab. Clips. Because every time you get an opportunity to, oh, there's another clips box. 320. When you find a packet of clips, it's good to actually see if you can get some. There's 320 in here. There's 410 in here, but I believe this one here looks like it's actually better to get, because clips, one, they are $40, and I hate that they're in another country because it makes it harder to get them. But that's just the way the world works, right? There's only 2 pages and that's it. There will be no more parts after this. I can assure you, I cannot find a trim for the door. So, Ford ZL Fairlane 1987 door retrim. Rest spares. There's trim clips. There's in good condition. Exterior moldings, trims for ZL Fairlane. Let's see if we can find a trim. That sucks that they don't say anything that I'm looking for. U-style, no. Dang, I can't find them. I say if it's door, not retrim. Just look for a door trim. If I can find a door trim, brand, that's a rubber kit. Don't even touch kits of rubber. We want doors, so rubber, mold panel, actuator lock, XF trims. Okay. Door trim costs. Okay. Door trim is charged by door by contractor. The charge can be blah 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 blah. There's $70 an hour. How much costs to have a trim? Cost redone. The best price I just found was about $300 per door trim. If I look at it, I can get some more information out of it. Literally, I am tired. It's like, I gotta do this, guys. Average price, higher quality, and decorative wood. Window. Oh, come on, not a window. Automotive door trim cost. Door retrim cost. Has anyone done a reupholstery retrim of the cars? Last interior I got done was around $4,000. I just had classic car retrim. Did not do the doors. Seats recovered was $2,700. That's less. That's $2,300 less. So I wonder what the $2,300 is for the trim that's not even in here. That's already pretty expensive. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna have to take a wild guess if I can't find the information, based on the information of like what are the prices for things. There's got to be a story out there that essentially supports what I'm trying to look for. Four doors. I've been quoted 7K. Someone said 4K, he's got a 7K. $5K for the full retrim on a Tirana. LJ Tirana cost the guy quote 700. Come on. Give me. It's gotta be. Come on, give me a story. Retrim. And a cost. And I want to find something for the doors. Nope. I'm gonna take an educated guess, and this is an educated guess. Since I'm gonna have to do this as well. Not door seal. I'm deleting all the wrong things. The educated guess that I'm gonna be going with. Come on. Based on all the information I have, plastics costs, the liner costs, the bench seats and all that stuff, I'm going to guess that each of the doors might cost around $500 to do, just to be a safe figure, making that $2,000 each. Front and rear. So, in all, sorry, it's going to be $2,000. That brings us close to 7K figure. If it goes 5 to 5K, if this all comes to 5K, I think we're doing pretty good. We also need speakers, which I know a single set of the speakers, there's going to be 2 sets of speakers. Come on. It's going to cost about $400. Easy. Okay. Now, the interior total is whatever this said before. Yes, we now have that number. We now have to get that number and double it. 21. It's 20, 20, 19, 18, 17. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. 16. This is so ridiculous to try and add all these numbers together. F14 times F15 plus this equals the total. Oh. Have we missed one? Yeah, we have missed one. And that pretty much gets it closer. Okay. F. Yep. We're at $11,200 for the retrimming of the car. Educated guess. It gets us up there. It's pretty expensive, and that's still not complete. No, that is not everything. There is there's a few other things I can think of left on the list. No, I was hoping that would be pretty much there, and we've only got a budget of $1,600 left for all the things I can think of left, which is tires. Is gonna be 5, and it's gonna cost $1,000 already. Just tires. It doesn't go much over budget, I guess, so that's a good thing. And I'm going to change the color of those to a light gray so I can distinguish them slightly, because I need to know which ones are which if there is no number in it. Okay, so the tires are going to cost for $1,000 each. The rear lights are going to be $2, and they're going to be $400. No, $200 each, because the price of things has been going up and up and up. It's ridiculous. The headlights. There's the auto electrical stuff, which is going to cost, and note that I'm also pretending that I'm doing most of the work. I'm probably not, as in assembly wise. I'm taking that guess because I haven't included the cost of actually installing the motor and removing the motor. I've just said, hey, I'm pulling this stuff out, but I'm not putting it back in. I haven't said anyone's putting it in. The auto electrical side of things, it's going to cost about $2,000 to get that right. The driveline, it's about $1,000 per thing to put in. So there's going to be one, and the total cost of that will be $1,000 for the motor installation, $1,000 for the transmission installation, and maybe $1,000. $1,000 for every component in the car, and then servicing, so $4,000 just in installation stuff. We're now at $46,000, pretty much. We're over budget by $6,000. And we're still not there. What was wrong with the car that we had problems with that we didn't have problems with? We have the doors. Oh my lord. How about I change this to 3, add 4 onto 3. That makes it 7. Bang, it's at 50 grand already. That is how quickly you can put the money up by thinking about things that you didn't think of. Actually, if I think about it, standard rust, because that's just the doors, that's simple enough for them to fix. Rust structural. I'm going to call the boost and the hood structural, even though they don't have holes in them. They still need to be prepped. You know, I'll just leave that alone. I'll stop adding things there. I'll add things down the bottom that I know about, such as the windows. Window. Front. It's about $300. It's about 1 and it's $300. Okay, make this entire column, make it dollars. Don't make me have to correct myself. Rear, 1, and it'll be about $300 as well, just to be safe. I'm just making sure I'm clear about why the price is so high. So I've gone way over budget. But yeah, I think we can get it to the point where it's drivable. Is there anything else? Oh, AC 1. The work to get the AC done is about maybe $300 if I'm lucky. I'll just call it $1,000 just to be safe, because you never know how much those things are going to cost. It could cost to replace it and then install it. Don't know. It's pretty much going to be a brand new car once it's done. Oh, there's the acid dip, which I'm just going to be safe. I'm going to call it $1,500. There is the paint dip. I'm pretty sure you can get a paint dip done. It's a special kind of dip. It doesn't matter what color it is. It just does it to protect the interior of it, like bubbles through to all the components that you've acid dipped, essentially. That is, I remember that's expensive. So I call it $2,500 just to be safe. Then there is the foam filler. And from what I can recall about the foam filler, that was not too bad actually on the price. There was that's about $1,000 to $2,000 though, because it's like $25 and it fills up that much of just about any channel. So it's like maybe $1,000 for the foam filler. And the reason to go foam is it's lighter than lead. People lead filler and then it raises the costs of driving. There is the head hood ornament. And I want a pristine, immaculate one. So I'm going to have to be expensive about what that is. There is the fuel lid, which is 1, and then it's about $120, I think, from the top of my head. Then there is not the dash. Don't worry about the dash. Computer's fine. It's all been done. I'm trying my best, guys. I'm trying so hard. It's not even funny anymore. Let me know if you're bored. Let me go and get this right and wrong at the same time. Then there's the door. Let's see. I haven't said that. Ooh, naughty me, naughty me, naughty me. I never said steering. Steering is never cheap. 1, and it's $1,500. What's the budget at? Almost $60,000 to fix a car, restore it. But when we're talking about restoring, it's also crazy because you're restoring a vehicle. You don't want one imperfection. There can be imperfections, but they're not necessarily illegal. They're more so not good to have in the first place, but it doesn't matter either way. Aha, so we've done, steering. I'm going to call it steering assembly, just to make sure it's clear what that item is. If the information's not clear, then that's not good. The total budget. The total budget equals G2. Bang, done. Leave it that. What else can I come up with? Is there any more expenses? There's the deadener. There's the body deadener, and that's about maybe $2,000. There's the interior installation, which might be about, I'm tempted to say $1,200. I don't think it's going to be that expensive. And then and the budget for the little plasticky stuff and the bolts, I'm going to set to $500 because not really much. Not really. I don't expect it to go that crazy. So we're at 61,800. 20 grand over budget. 22 grand over budget. Then there is, what else is there, guys? Come on. We can do this. We'll win. Gonna win ourselves a victory. There's all the plastic things that could be broken. There is the, what's the speed controller unit called, or that assembly? It's called speed. No, cruise control. There is one, and that's going to cost about $300 to fix. I'm guessing. Cruise control. Thinking about the cruise control, is there anything crazy else that I can think of? Yes, there was. There was the $1,000 stuff left. What is it called? That one part at the front of the firewall. That is called the firewall insulation. And they're about, it's going to be $800 a piece. There's $400 and $800 a piece. Add them together, that's $1,200. I'm literally not trying to leave anything out on this. Because I've got everything at up to $64,000. Got told, you better have 100 grand or you'll never finish the car. They're not joking. I better have 80 grand if I want to finish this car. Then there's the service, and I'm going to call it service and tune. And then essentially that sum of F27 times E27, boom. And the reason I have to do it like this is because I've made mistakes. Oh no, we're at $70,000 now that I've corrected some mistakes. Wow. That is ridiculous. To make sure you guys know what I've managed to figure out in an hour. Okay. So if we look at all these prices, I don't know if we can all agree on this. The total budget now is this. This is the budget we're going to set for the vehicle in the beginning. This is all the expenses. And we've gotten to the point where I've given up on groups, and now I'm just doing individual things. I don't know if we can all agree on these prices, but just because the tires, I've kind of messed that up. I should say that's actually really bad. I think I know why that went wrong. These are $100-$200 each, and that's also not showing up as a dollar sign. That's not showing up as a dollar sign. Dollary does. How many dollary does is it gonna take to get this beast on the road? So now, guys, I hope you've got an idea on how much I hope you guys really realize how much cars actually cost to restore, especially since you can't do all the work yourself without risking damaging something. I'm adding links in here because I started and I stopped because of the fasteners you might need, and then there's a budget for further down for the bolts, $500 for the bolts and plastics and stuff. So all plastics and bolts spare or broken. So the little fins on your air vents were what I was considering with the plastics, and then the bolts being the ones that are lost, damaged, broken, rusty, you name it, if it's gone. Yeah, that sort of thing. So now that we've gone from the original set budget that I'm setting for the car, $40,000, to $63,500, we get an idea on how much these things actually cost. I haven't even said that someone else is going to install the rear end, or actually that's now accounted for. I said, where did I say it? I've said it down here somewhere. Service tune, firewall, body, blah 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 blah, steering assembly fluid. Where's the install? Interior installation. I don't know where I've said it. I think it was $1,200, but it says interior installation. What about the driveline? Is there anything here that I said driveline? Driveline install. Yes, I do have the driveline install that I said. Oh, shoot. Son of a brisket. Okay, so guys, to get an idea, I guess this is fair enough, this one price. I'm letting someone else install the driveline. Professionally, that is the diff, that is the transmission, that is the engine just being installed after, being removed, getting reassembled. Now, it's for someone else to do that. Then there is the service cost. Where's the servicing? Service and tune down the very bottom. I didn't add a price to it. Goose. That was, I think, $1,200 as well. Service and tune, $1,200. Why is it? Oh my gosh. It is always doing that. If I say that, and we go back up here, we're at now 65 grand to do that car. Is it worth it, guys? Really? Can I be honest? For me, yes. But with the time that's left, I don't know if it's worth me spending that kind of money that I don't have. If I had that money, would I spend it on this? Maybe if I had my own place. Maybe I'd start if Dad was saying it's got to go or it's got to be done. And the Triton above my head in the background, it's not worth doing because it's got no vintage, it's got no heritage, it's got no classicness to it. It is literally just a Triton, it's literally just a ute. That's all it is. But it looks really cool, it's fun to drive, but it has all these problems that have to be fixed. It'll be cheaper to do than the ZL Fairlane because old cars always rust. Anyway, that's it for this stream. Thanks for watching. Have a great day or night wherever you are in the world. It's time for me to pack up and get some other work done and started. Bye.